Hi.
Wow, you can see Jill's name.
Really?
I went to the. This is what I do with my T-shirts because I wear the suspenders. You know,
now we should point out that
what's on the back.
One of the technical problems is in the broadcast, all print is backwards. There's nothing we can do if we're going to use this camera. So you've got the reverse of that. So
well,
it's
then this line going down.
Mach.6102 lich is what it says. But that will get fixed in the archived version.
Okay.
So we're sitting here. Mr. H, as I like to call him, was a little bit of a late show. But Haryaksha Knauer is the Green Party's official candidate. Well, no, one of many official candidates. You were the delegate of LD1. There may be other candidates.
Well,
for this.
I was one of 6 delegates from Arizona to the Green Party National Convention, nominating convention in Houston. Houston, we have a solution. This was August 4th to 7th, our annual meeting, and the actual nominating convention was on Hiroshima Day, the 6th.
The Green Party National Convention was held roughly coincident with the Democratic National Convention, wasn't it, in the rough time frame? Or
maybe
that
a week or two later.
A week or two later,
yeah.
Actually? No, that's odd.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought I heard about it.
It happened to coincide, I think, with the opening of the Olympics.
Okay. Speak up just a little bit.
Where's the mic? Down below,
top.
up there?
Yeah, the mic and the camera are
both
the same.
Uh-huh.
Hello, Facebook. We love you, Facebook. Sign in, ask Mr. H some questions as we go. Well, we took some notes about what we were going to talk about. You actually participated in a meeting, I think it was a week and a half ago, maybe, at the Raven, which was which it was called by a woman who was a Dem-exiter, and a lot of people of varying levels of activism showed up. And I think it was a very positive meeting because I tend to have a very optimistic view. A lot of people are just coming out of the Democratic Party and they don't really know what to do, what's going on, how to make things happen. And they're also encountering a lot of people, not so much like myself, but Dennis Duvall has been active for decades in activism. He's been arrested every 3 years for whatever. And there's different people at different levels of awareness of what they can do. So let's talk about the fact that it's Wednesday, August 24th today is kind of historic because today Senator Bernie Sanders, for his flock or following, is broadcasting at 6 p.m. Pacific and Arizona time, 9 p.m. Eastern time, Our Revolution. He's going to talk about exactly what people can do.
Oh, good. I'd like to see Bernie.
Are you going to be at the office?
Yeah.
We're going to jet over. We have to shut this down at 5:30 sharp. So my clock is how long we've been broadcast. I can't see a clock, so you have to tell me when it's 5:30. We got to end and jet.
And I'd like to mention it's 1700 now.
We got 25 minutes to talk.
I'd like to mention that it was Susan Resitar, a Dem-exit, Bernie-crat, who initiated, who called this meeting
the prior meeting.
This meeting as well? Just mentioned.
The prior meeting, the one that happened. Jim Dolzer is organizing where we're headed at the office. That's at the office tonight. If you're in Prescott at 5:45.
Right on Cortez Street.
Yeah, we're on South Cortez. We have to cross the Mason-Dixon line to get to North. It's not
so at
it's like
Jim's meeting, will we see Bernie on TV? Good.
We will be seeing Bernie Sanders on the big screen. They have tables and chairs set up. I've already got my little area where there's an outlet so I can stay charged while I videotape.
I just happened to see most of Jill and
let's do this.
Jamu's.
Let's talk about speculate.
Town hall.
Let's speculate first. I'm getting wet over here, but let's speculate.
Oh, you want to move over?
I'm just going to move this in a little bit. Let's do this. Let's do this point. Let's speculate about what he might say. I have my theories. You go first. I'll go second.
All
Let's
right.
do a tag team.
Or maybe I can say what I would like to hear him say.
You could do that too.
And I've heard him called a herder. Bringing enthusiastic, maybe. Previously uninvolved,
somewhat idealistic, maybe?
Idealistic, eligible voters into the Democratic Party. So he got them on the Dem rolls, and now they're all dressed up and know where to go. And
Exactly.
so I don't know if
Well
Jim
put.
is going to encourage people to support Jill, but I should think that's the obvious choice. And that was what that meeting you mentioned the other night was about.
Are you saying that he's going to encourage people to support Dr. Jill Stein, or is that what you would hope he would do?
I would hope he would address this label of a herder, sheepdog, bringing people into the Democratic Party. Now that's all in the Democratic Party roles, and we have a new phenomenon called the Dem exit. So maybe these people
and never Trump as well. A lot of people exiting the Republican Party for similar reasons.
Yeah. As Jill says, this is a transformative time, and if not now, then.
Confusing too.
Oh, and I'd like to mention her hashtag. It's in our hands.
It's in our hands.
Yeah, and now, as always, it's in our hands, and so there's still enthusiasm and
If there's
idealism.
anything that can't get wet, save it now, because everything's getting
This
wet.
plastic
Like
thing.
that probably doesn't
Okay,
get wet.
thank you.
I put all my papers away. I can lose this one.
Okay.
The dessert is probably going to be better with rainwater sprinkled carefully with rainwater on our Revolution Day. I'm so excited. So, in a nutshell, you think that it's going to be him addressing, partly he has to address this herders label. And I've been so tied up with writing my story for the last 4 days, I've been like not aware of what's happening nationally at all.
Well, yeah, it's
I just
happening
can't process two
lickety split. Gore Vidal, the United States of amnesia. If it happened a week ago, you missed it. Well, then that was ancient history. But at any time, Bernie can say, "Wait a minute," he doesn't like the way the campaign, the Democratic Party campaign, is going, and he can say, "Look, this is the opportunity to vote your conscience."
Yeah.
But for the greater good, as Jill says.
Yeah.
So I have no idea. Predictions fail.
I don't.
What Bernie is going to.
Can I say about what you said? Maybe I misinterpreted because I was still putting documents, all the stuff that can't get wet, like forms I have to fill out.
Yeah.
I thought I heard you say you would expect or you would hope that he would endorse Jill Stein. Maybe I misread you.
Oh, that would be terrific. But he already endorsed Hillary.
Yeah.
I was so happy when Dr. or brother Cornel West.
I was going to say pretty much everyone, with the possible exception of Killer Mike, and I'll explain Killer Mike in a second. All of his top people. Well, his top people to me are those three: Dr. Cornel West, Ohio State Senator
Sherwood or Sherrod Brown, something like that. Is he a senator?
No, she is
A state senator from Ohio.
State senator from Ohio. Turner, something Turner, not Tina Turner. Nina Turner. Nina Turner. Yes, she has endorsed Jill Stein. They're all breaking away from the Democratic pet. A lot of his main supporters are saying, "Nope, we're done. We're angry. We're going." Not so much angry. We're at the cutoff point where we realize it doesn't make sense to support this group anymore. We're Jill Stein. Good luck with not getting Trump elected, but we can't invest any thought in you guys anymore. And then you have a lot of the more senior people, can I say white people, in the camp sort of splitting, like half are going green and half are staying Democratic. And then you have Bernie Sanders himself, who to his word from day one has promised not to become a Green Party or a third party candidate. I didn't mean to be specific. And I think he's sticking to his word, and he's politically bound to do so, because if he did say something like that, rewind, he committed to not doing that. Or not.
Is it true he is no longer a registered Democrat? That he registered Democrat for the
Sanders?
For the primary, and then he now has.
I can't comment on that. I don't know how he's registered.
Well,
Did he ever register
as a Democrat? I don't know. He's
Is he
always
required to do so
them.
to run as a candidate?
Good question.
That's kind of fascistic. I'm just teasing. They have their own rules. They can make up whatever.
That's right. It's
Okay, so I think that was all number one. What you think will happen?
What I'm hoping will happen, besides.
I get to take a turn.
What do you think will happen?
Here's what I think he will, and this ties. I just handed you the Hess Manifesto.
Yeah.
Now you haven't fully read it yet, but the three tenets are: number one, be more active; number two, stop the machine; number three, What was the third one? Create a New World. Now, this is written by retired Yavapai County Superior Court Judge Ralph M. Hess, who's now an activist and very liberal, and he usually is helping out like with legal advice for people who get arrested who are activists, like Dennis Duval, like the story I just reported on. And I've been helping him as well document his recent case for a noise ordinance using a bullhorn. That's in March. So here's what I think Bernie Sanders will fundamentally say. We have to support Hillary Clinton right now. I think he has to say that. But at every level, we all have to stay engaged and active, and it's personal action. You can't be sitting at home trying to do battle. No, you're wrong. This is the way it should be. That actually becomes counterproductive because...
excuse me.
Sure.
I think Jim is that his name or Bill? What's the name of the guy?
Jim Dotzler?
Jim. I think Jim is going to exhort people to run for office. Isn't that what Our Revolution is about? And that's what...
should we only have
Howard
candidates?
Zinn.
I think we need to
this is one way of taking direct action. A personal action.
Oh, you're talking about the fellow who wrote this? That's Ralph Hess.
Ralph Hess. But no, I mean at tonight's meeting.
Jim
at the
Dotzler
office,
is running this meeting.
The Our Revolution.
Hashtag Our Revolution.
Is about some kind of direct action, taking personal action.
I think that will be the number one topic of Bernie's. We're sitting here like it's like NFL playoffs. It's like who do you feel is good? Well, I think Nina Turner. She's going to be good as she can't run very well, but she could certainly jab or whatever, or like a boxing match. Who do you think who's good? Well, he's been kind of in training for a long time. I feel good about this prognostication. We won't know what we're speculating. It's very exciting. I'm very excited. I think this is a historic address tonight. I can't wait.
I sent a message, and I was hoping to meet with Jim before tonight. Maybe
we just
this is somebody I know, and I just didn't know him by
he's a little bit of a curmudgeon. I haven't met him yet, and yet he's one of the co-editors of The Link, and I've never met him.
What? Well, we'll meet him tonight.
That happens online.
Yes.
It's like the online date that I've never met. But what I was going to say is all we have to do is show up a little bit earlier than early, because everyone's been told to show up at 5:45. If we're out of here like 5:20, 5:25, and that's going to affect what we're doing right now, then we'll meet him. And I have to drink this a little faster off camera, because you put this into frame, you have to say age restricted. I'm drinking evil water. So that would be my number one speculation. My number one speculation is he's going to say that, but he's going to say it. Ralph Hess is simultaneously very intellectual and very judgy. So he starts it out by saying, after attending the NLG National Conference and the World Social Forum, he starts out NLG and WS. I had to look up what NLG is. It's the National Legal Guild or something. It's where all the judges do their judgy things. It's the annual meeting of all the scholarly judges and lawyer types. Legal Guild.
Is he going to be at Jim's meeting?
No, he is currently in Canada or the East Coast for a while, but he's coming back. Come back, Ralph.
Well, stop the machine. You cannot vote Democrat and stop the machine.
Well, the Democratic Party is a part of the machine, but see, we don't have a candidate. I hate to tell you guys, we don't have a candidate that's third party that can realistically win in this election unless.
Not with that attitude. But also, may I ask you to say alternative rather than third?
With current polling. You're right. Non-binary. How about non-binary?
Yeah.
Because we need to get away from the binaries. Let's go Parliament. Have you checked out Parliament?
In Arizona, that might not work. It would be sort of like the jungle primary, where all you have is two Republicans progressing to the general election.
I think there's a pretty substantial left-wing following. I know.
What, going representational?
Maybe locally, like in Phoenix.
Proportional representation.
In Phoenix, Flagstaff, and Tucson, you would have and left-wing governments based on a parliament. And it would be all sides represented, not like one guy who is dominant. I mean, like a president and Congress, they're going to dominate. And if you get two of them aligned in the same party, that can be a dangerous thing. I don't care if it's Democratic or Republican. A lot of good ideas stop, or they start making laws too quickly because they agree. Agreement is not necessarily a good thing. Disagreement and discourse, and that happens in a parliamentary fashion. It's ugly. If you look at British broadcasts from the parliamentary floor, it's not as bad as the Italian parliament, where they actually try and punch each other, you know.
Well, it's great to hear new ideas, something imaginative,
crazy
new.
Ideas. You could say crazy. I don't mind it. I'm certifiable.
And actual discussion, comparing noise.
So back to you. You have your choice now. You have a wild card because we were doing speculation, but we also have a time constraint. So you can speculate some more about additional things you think he will say or that you would like him to say in an ideal situation, or you can say how our revolution translates to the Green Party's goals. And there, I'm just going to listen because I would love to hear what you have to say. I would say go with that.
At the Green Party nominating convention, there was a Dem Exeter. And I don't remember her name, but it was something like Indigo, her last name, and her first name I totally forget. But she suggested right out of the gate, talking about a revolution. It's just farcical because going to the polls.
Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but I just noticed. Jim Dotzler joined. Now, on some Android devices, people can join and then leave, and we don't know about it. But Jim Dotzler, if you're online, say Jim Dotzler is online and post some questions and get us off our rant and get us to talk about what you want to know of the Green Party candidate. One of many, because remember there was the fellow who was the environmental guy that we met at the last meeting, and I couldn't remember his name. It's the one thing in my notes I didn't write down. Brooks?
Jesse,
he says he wants to run.
Jesse? Oh, he wants to run for office?
Yeah, he said he was going to run possibly for your office.
Jesse said that?
Yes.
And then Cal Whiteley is also considering running.
Well, he wasn't at the meeting, so I don't know who he is.
Cal is...
You got to show up at these meetings, Cal.
Cal is the director of the Prescott Community Gardens, and he's registered green, and he's considering running.
It was Cal. No, Cal was there.
Yeah.
Cal was there. Was the other guy there too?
Brooks is the one who talked about protection for beavers, to reintroduce...
Jeffrey Brooks. He's not running.
Jeffrey?
No, he's not running for office.
No, and neither is Cal. But
Cal said he wanted to.
But in the future, not this cycle.
Oh, not this cycle. Oh, okay. I didn't catch that nuance.
Yeah, and not for legislative seat, but for school board or something like this.
Yeah. I think I said something like this, here's how if I was elected, it would be such a clue, because my campaign run would be, I'm an atheist, I'm certifiably crazy, I'm certifiably insane. I've been homeless, I've been an activist, I've been a technologist. Your vote for me would be the worst thing that could happen if I was elected, because it would be a crazy ride. That would be my campaign pitch.
Thank you for your candor.
No, if I get one vote, I'd be like, let's go drink beer. Yeah. Oh, that popped out somehow. Let's fix that. That's just this. Yeah, there you go. So, what time is it? How much time do we have? Let's think about it.
You want to end this at 17:25? I'm 5 minutes fast, so it's 17:15.
Let's go another 5 minutes. Jim, I suspect, hasn't said, hi, I'm online, so I suspect he did the Android chicken thing, logged on, and the Android system, for whatever reason, those don't go away with the Android, it turns out.
All right, well...
So he's probably gone.
Can I call you Bert?
Yeah.
Mr. Blindman? Thanks for...
Call me Mr. S, Mr. H.
Mr. S?
For my last name. Why aren't you Mr. K? Why don't people call you Mr. K? And Mr. H is the name, your first name that they get hung up on. So wouldn't it logically be Mr. K?
Or HGK is referred to when we have
Mr. Knauer.
Mr. All right. The Philadelphia Knauers don't pronounce the K, and the country Knauers do.
What would you be, a country Knauer?
Oh, yeah. My antecedents were quarrymen.
There's a joke I'm suppressing, because I could go totally blue right now, but I'll tell you the joke later off camera. You would love it, but not on camera.
It's not it's totally adult blue. Content.
It's explicit.
Oh, that's great. Well, we're breaking down these barriers.
Well, it has to do with country K. It's a country K joke.
All right. So if you're a convicted felon in Arizona, you can get your voting rights restored after you've dotted all your T's and crossed your I's. It's not true in every state.
Right.
But as a felon, you can run for office. So there's different rules for different direct actions. and even convicted felons can run for office. Crazy people can run for office. Certifiably.
I'll put the documents into the public domain to prove how you shouldn't elect me. I've never been arrested.
Is that right?
That could
Wow,
change, though. I'm
that's
standing people who typically do get arrested. So
yeah, that would be a
I'm
badge
always
of
like,
honor.
my hand's already up holding the iPad. That's my excuse. My hands are not moving. They're up in the air. I'm just holding this iPad. That's my line, my tag now.
You're
Wow, it's super
the
wet back
journalist.
here. Okay, you know what? This went online in a very obscure way in a conversation that Dennis Duval and I had about the whole experience. I said, you know what? The fact that this is after I just told him that the Courier was going to pick up the tomorrow morning's paper should have the article. I don't know how deep they're going to go. I don't know how much of my content or my research they're going to put in. I'm going on my article tomorrow morning too. I have to pull an all-nighter, so I have to pull an all-nighter to make this happen. In this conversation with Dennis, I said, you know, I had this mental thought the other day that totally charged me up. You remember the Tiananmen Square photograph? The guy just standing, blocking a line of tanks in communist China when democracy is, if you're a democratic person trying to get the word out, like, we'll tolerate you being democratic, but if you try and get the word out about being active, we'll kill you. That's basically their party line, so to speak. So I'm not comparing Jim and I to that immense, intense, life-threatening movement in China, but I did make this observation. There was a whole lot of people, Granite Peak, I still got to find out why Granite Peak Universalist Congregation, Unitarian Universalist Congregation, that's 5 words.
Yeah.
GPUU. They were supposed to send about 5 or 6 people who were committed to come down and stand with Jim. Grandmas for Peace, I'd heard, was going to stand with Jim. When I heard, like, oh, there's going to be like 6 or 7 people protesting, The Link, we'll be there. Of course we'll be there. We'll cover the event. We'll check out the protest. We'll go have some free, they were giving away free breakfast. Yeah, we'll eat. Check it out. But it just ended up being Dennis alone by himself and I alone. 15 minutes in, I walked around this big MRAP device. That's a big giant armored vehicle that they're now using to quell riots in the United States, or near riots, or anything related to Black Lives Matter when the cops don't have things under control because they don't get how...
This was on campus in a Prescott Unified School District?
I can't stop the broadcast to show you the video, but I will show you the video before you leave tonight. I will show you the video I captured of what was happening at Prescott High School. It was super huge militarized presence. Advertising how cool it is.
This is something that people don't realize, that they're breathing, they're swimming in this militarization. The Democratic Party is totally militarized.
It was not so subtle recruiting to high school teens when there are laws saying you can opt out. And you know what? It shouldn't have been just blanketed. Yeah, they've been cool here for every year, and I carded them on it in my article. And luckily, the Courier said, yeah, there's given the stalling that has been occurring on the other side of the question with the opt-out forms. When you put those two things together, okay, those are two unrelated things. The first principal, Tatsi McCraven, I think is her name, who retired three and a half years ago, she was kind of like a little bit more positive. Stephanie Hillig, the current principal, I can't read her quite because she's now kind of saying, well, that's handled at the district level. I don't make those decisions. But it sounded like the previous principal was making those decisions. Like, I want this to occur, and then I'll get permission from my boss. See, so that's a little more proactive. So maybe it's just because Stephanie Hillig realizes the press is getting interested in this. She's saying, talk to my boss, Joe Howard, the superintendent of PUSD. So now Joe Howard's not returning my calls for 2 days. So he doesn't know who I am. If I said I'm from the Courier, can you call me back? I'd be talking to him in a heartbeat, but I'm not going to lie.
Can I say that it was a civics teacher at Prescott High School who invited me as a Green Party candidate to talk about the Green Party. I'm very grateful for that.
A teacher?
Yes. And he might be receptive to
I'll let. Is he still a teacher at Prescott High School?
Yeah. Oh, yes. This was recent.
I would love to get his contact info, and I just want to clue you into what I'm doing. I'm not trying to shut anybody down, but I think there's a little bit of discourse needed. The whole thing, the concept of the link, we talked about this, is the whole. It even plays into our choice of the logo. It's disparate groups that are disconnected and grading, and they should be getting along and cooperating a little bit better and not throwing.
All right. So if I'm a rock star, can I sing a song, a 1-minute song?
As long as it's non-copyrighted. Don't sing anything. Don't even. You know what you could sing? You could sing "Happy Birthday" to Bertie Sanders because that they lost their copyright. We could sing "Happy Revolution." You could do that. Our revolution will happen. You can parody it. You can also parody a song. You could sing a Led Zeppelin song, copyrighted as a parody.
It goes something like this. Once again, my friends, Kumbaya. Voices are heard, my Lord, Kumbaya. Songs of danger, warning, freedom, justice, love between my brothers and my sisters all around the world. Kumbaya.
I don't think anybody's going to card us for singing that, but they are going to card us if we don't eat this delicious dessert. Ask for it by name. It was the, what was it? It was the lemon meringue.
Yeah.
And look, they give you this. I actually thought this was meant to be like one of the, what do you call, like a tiara that a beauty queen gets? So
yeah,
I was
it looks
wearing this.
glittery, all glittery the way it catches
hat.
the light.
So we're gonna sign off unless you want to. Jim, you want to watch us eat this?
Hello, Jim. I'm lking forward to meeting you.
Well, Jim's gonna
later.
be. Let's get this finished so we can get the.
Well,
thing going.
thank you, Mr. B.
Thank you, Mr. Haryaksha Knauer. Or should I just say thank you, Haryaksha? Am I pronouncing it correctly?
Yeah.
Every time I start it, I think I'm going to make a mistake.
AK is my middle name.
AK. Just not AK-47. All right.
One hit, quit.